APC is looking for Rivers State and Kano State ahead of 2027 by all means. That's why President Tinubu cannot stand on the law and tell Wike to hands off.
So guys, Tinubu's agenda is beginning to unfold. We can now see clearly that Tinubu does not even have anything to offer Nigerians, if not to come and destroy our constitution. You can imagine him abandoning the constitution just for his own political interest and for the interest of the APC. They made Fubara to sign a deal that so many people have come to like say that this deal is going to destroy Fubara's political future. You can imagine the president, instead of him upholding the constitution, Tinubu abandoned the constitution because of his own personal interest and the interest of the APC to take over Rivers State. Nigerians, pay close attention to this.
APC is looking for Rivers State and Kano State ahead of 2027 by all means. That's why President Tinubu cannot stand on the law and tell Wike to hands off and let the rule of law prevail. And that's because Wike is doing him a political favor.
Speaking of hand in hand,
he needs to allow the rule of law to prevail.
I mean, look at, 7 there. The names of all commissioners in the Rivers State Executive Council who resigned, their appointments should be resubmitted.
Yeah. In addition to that,
to the assembly, so that they can get reappointed.
Yeah, how feasible? This way, the people imposed on the governor by Nyesom Wike. So you are forcing the governor to still continue to work with people who don't even believe in his own ideologies. So you can't put something on nothing. That's what the law says. In this instance, we've seen this situation coming to the fore and the laws of the land are not being obeyed. And that's where I actually fought President Tinubu. Instead of him asking for the laws to be obeyed, he's trying to find a political solution.
Under Tinubu, our laws can no longer be upheld. Under the APC, our constitution has become an ordinary script where people choose the ones to obey and the ones to ignore. Because of the person of Tinubu, our judiciary has become a mockery. Because of the APC, Nigerians don't even know where to run to should they have any problem, because you don't believe in your judges, you don't believe in your judiciary, you don't even believe, even when the constitution is in your favor, you are not sure of getting justice. That is just what we are seeing today. So Fubara went to Aso Rock, and after the discussion, he was made to sign this deal that allows him to permit the 27 lawmakers who are now APC members to still remain as the lawmakers, in the state. How is he going to manage these people? Should he still be the governor of the state? How is he going to work with these lawmakers who are now on the opposition? Nigerians, and Tinubu did not see anything wrong in all this.
President Tinubu cannot tell him how to run his state, Rivers State. Not even a minister can do that. Because just the same way President Tinubu was elected with executive powers, that's the same way Governor Fubara was elected with executive powers. And you see the things that are here. Commissioners will be represented. The governor should not sack local government chairman. The budget to be, oh my God. I mean, President Tinubu himself, when he was governor, wouldn't take this. And you know what happened when he had a clash with former Governor Ambode? Governor Ambode showed him that he was the governor in charge, even though he was not going to get re-elected. But while he was there exercising executive powers, he was going to show Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, that he was the executive governor of Lagos State, and he did.
So Nigerians, Tinubu abandoned the constitutions that declares the seat for these lawmakers to be vacant. That's just the worrisome aspect of all this.
Or is this truce really sustainable? Especially when you break down some of the directives. What do you think?
Even President Tinubu himself knows that this arrangement wouldn't hold waters. Wouldn't really hold waters. It's tilted towards one side. And you and I know that if there was one person who left that villa happy and really excited, that person will be Nyesom Wike. Because everything just seems to be almost towards him. And you'll see that there are 2 court cases by 2 different factions. How come one is being mentioned? The number one thing there is that all matters instituted in the courts by the governor of Rivers State in respect of this case should be withdrawn. What happens to the one that was instituted in Abuja today, and there was a court order? That wasn't mentioned, and that was by this factional speaker, Mayoli, who was there, and Sim Fubara's own speaker wasn't there. If you look at the signatures that were appended to that document, you see Governor Sim Fubara was there, his deputy was there, deputy governor, and then Nyesom Wike was there. The speaker that's loyal to Nyesom Wike was there. How come the speaker that's loyal to Governor Sim Fubara wasn't there? So, I mean, we all know that in politics, a presidential intervention is much cherished, and I really like what President Tinubu has done. By intervening, he has shown that there's a political will from the federal side to be able to look for a resolution to this problem. But when it comes to the feasibility of actually having this implemented, I'll tell you that the same executive powers that President Tinubu has is the same executive powers that Governor Sim Fubara enjoys. And the federal government, through President Tinubu, cannot tell him how to run his state, River State. Not even a minister can do that. Because just the same way President Tinubu was elected with executive powers, that's the same way Governor Sim Fubara was elected with executive powers. And you see the things that are here. Commissioners will be represented. The governor should not sack local government chairman.
The budget too.
And the budget to be, oh my God. I mean, President Tinubu himself, when he was governor, wouldn't take this. And you know what happened when he had a clash with former Governor Ambode? Governor Ambode showed him that he was the governor in charge, even though he was not going to get re-elected. But while he was there exercising executive powers, he was going to show Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, that he was the executive governor of Lagos State, and he did.
You know, listen to you,
Samna. We're going to have the same situation here.
Listening to you, Samna, you've been able to remind, you know, close watchers that is tilted.
Yeah, it's tilted. Yes, I mean, from everything we've seen here, and it doesn't make it easy to be implemented.
And in politics, sometimes, you know how they say it, you can use the word trick before an average Nigerian, the word wayo could even be stronger than trick. So the trick here, or the wayo here, could be, is it possible to say every time that the governor seemed to be gaining momentum and getting strength, that's when this kind of reconciliation is thrown at him? Because the first time when it was going down, people didn't see the reconciliatory move until he sprang up, and that move came and he was, you know, boxed up to another corner. And the second time again, everyone is thinking that, okay, perhaps he's trying to be his own man,
and getting a lot of support,
and we're getting to see this again. So listening to Peter Abang, the lawyer who just spoke, he says, owing to 109, whether you even have a 4 or 3 members, so long as the others have actually crossed the carpet without genuine reasons as presented in section 109, then that budget before that assembly, irrespective of the number, can fly. But now that he's been told to represent the budget. So how does this work for those legal minds who are still pointing to section 109?
It's very simple. You can't put something on nothing. That's what the law says. In this instance, we've seen this situation coming to the fore, and the laws of the land are not being obeyed. And that's where I actually fought President Tinubu. Instead of him asking for the laws to be obeyed, he's trying to find a political solution. And that's where it will backfire. Because if both sides don't see some sort of equity in the terms of resolutions that have been reached, there's no how they'll be faithful to the document. And I can tell you wholeheartedly, from what I've seen right now, and these documents presented, the government only signed it to assuage the feelings of the president right there at the villa. But you and I know that when he gets back to the government house in Port Harcourt, it's going to be a different ball game.
Wow.
And all this, I mean, some of the things that are happening, yes, I understand some Wike's travels, the pains he feels, but he also understands the powers of the executive governor. And the powers here is that whoever is elected by the people has the right to exercise the powers given to him by the people,
and having been having been a governor, would he have accepted?
He would never have tolerated this
situation.
He would never have tolerated this, and that's why we are saying that, irrespective of the president's intervention, I think that what would happen in this instance is for these cases to be allowed to go through the judicial system.
Right.
And in this instance, when you have these 27 lawmakers who claim to have defected to the APC, did you see Tony Okocha's signature there? Is the caretaker committee chairman for the APC in Rivers State, although in a controversial manner, and he signed here. And now you see that the PDP too signed there. So at this instance now, you would have heard Tony Okocha saying that they are preparing ground for Wike to come and be the party leader of APC. I can say it clearly, like I mentioned earlier, is that APC is looking for Rivers State and Kano State ahead of 2027 by all means. That's why President Tinubu cannot stand on the law and tell Wike to hands off and let the rule of law prevail. And that's because Wike is doing him a political favor.
Speaking of hands in hand,
he needs to allow the rule of law to prevail.
I mean, look at, 7 there. The names of all commissioners in the Rivers State Executive Council who resigned, their appointments should be resubmitted.
In addition to that,
to the assembly, so that they can get reappointed.
Yeah, how feasible? This way, the people imposed on the governor by Nyesom Wike. So you are forcing the governor to still continue to work with people who don't even believe in his own ideologies. Shouldn't the president be his own man? If the president is his own man, why can't a governor be his own man?
Is it a recipe for disaster? What's going on?
No, I mean, it just tells you, even in Ondo, the president tried this, and there were things that were not acceded to.
In addition to what I just read out,
that's
item 7. In addition to that, item 5 says the Rivers State House of Assembly shall choose where they want to sit and conduct their legislative business without interference and or hindrance from the executive arm of government.
Yeah, I mean, if all things were working very well, this is what it should be. The legislature, if the main building has been burnt down, they should decide where they would want to. But do you think that the governor would want to? These are the same people who have said that they want to impeach the governor. So you want the governor to sleep on the same bed with his political enemies. What will happen to him if he wake up Sunday?
That question again, is it a recipe for disaster?
Yeah, I mean it is, because the governor is not going to obey this, because in the face of the law, there's no equity in the resolutions we have seen here. And if there's no equity, it becomes difficult to implement. Why would we want peace to reign in Rivers State? Nyesom Wike also feels pained that he sponsored someone to get in there politically, but you cannot mix politics and the law.
Let's see if our producers can bring in number 3 in that communique again. And I want you to speak to number 3, because number 3 looks like the big the stumbling block. The leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as led by Right Honorable Martin Amewule, shall be recognized
alongside the 27 members who resigned from the PDP.
These are people who said they have resigned. They waved the flags of APC. You saw them there. I mean, the handy flag of APC, they were all waving it. I mean, that's all of them. So are you asking them to come back to the People's Democratic Party, which they don't believe in, which gave them tickets, and they rejected, where people gathered and voted for them on this platform, and they stood on the platform there in the house and said they were ditching this party? So how do you expect, how feasible is that?
But
I mean, those are some of the...
In politics, nothing remains... I mean, there's no constant, right?
Yeah.
Permanent.
Not in all times. There are some things that are pretty difficult, because in this instance now, the House of Assembly is going to be... Well, if they had settled for a neutral person, not Edison Ehie or Martin Amewule, it would have been a little easier. But for you to bring this person back, and this person has confessed with his mouth that he is a loyalist of Nyesom Wike, wouldn't you be afraid that this man will sponsor a bill against you or sponsor an impeachment against you? So it becomes a little bit difficult. That's why I said it looks like APC's decision to actually have Rivers State in 2027 in the kitty is making President Tinubu not to see clearly that the rule of law is being violated here, that the president is intervening to bring a political solution, but that political solution seems to be tilted towards his own minister. And of course, a governor who has executive powers would want to assert himself. They can sign this 100 times, but when it comes to implementation, that's what I'm saying. How easy would it be? If the governor agrees, will his political loyalists agree? And you would have heard Rivers State elders all coming and saying that, look, we don't want this to happen. Do you think that if he takes this communique or resolution back to them that they will endorse it. I mean, it will be terribly.
So Tinubu abandoned our constitution because of personal interest. He abandoned what the constitution says because of the interest of the APC. They want to win in 2027. Nigerians, they abandon our constitution because they are eyeing Rivers State. They want to take over Rivers and Kano ahead of 2027. These people that have nothing to sell to the people, they only believe in seizing power by force. They only believe in grabbing it, snatching it, running with it. They are not focusing on giving Nigerians dividends of democracy so that 2027 people can easily vote for them. They are not ready to work for Nigerians. They are just there for their own selves and they want to grab power by force. We are already seeing it playing out, and that is why many Nigerians are already worried about coming out to vote come 2027. You know, because they have the judiciary, they have the political power, they have the money, they have INEC, and they have every other thing. Yes, they have every other thing at their disposal. So guys, you can see that this government don't even know what to do. They don't know how to remedy the situation Nigeria is into. Tinubu is not concerned about the turmoil happening in Rivers State. All they want is to secure Rivers State. Can you imagine him allowing 27 lawmakers from the PDP to dump the party and move over to the APC, and the government, I mean the presidency, didn't see anything wrong about that? Even though that is against the constitution, Tinubu is not worried that the constitution is being abandoned at this moment. Fellow Nigerians, please, this is time for us all to stand up and reject this APC government and reject this APC party. Come next election, let all the Nigerian youths come together. Let's come together and vote competence, and vote character, and vote credibility, and vote people who want to see Nigeria progress, not people who come into power just for their own personal interest. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell. Thank you.